Hello, welcome everybody. It's MoS. In this episode, we are going to do some really fun things. As you probably already know by watching other people, Kerbal Space Program has been updated like a week and a half ago or something. And, well, I've been messing around with it, and I've finally made a ship worthy of getting to other planets. And here it is. It can land anywhere, and anywhere is good. So this thing can go and land on any planet, any moon, anywhere in the solar system. It has MechJeb installed because, well, it just makes taking off a little easier, and transfer orbits a little easier, if only because it saves me a little bit of time and I guess fuel. But I can make it there without MechJeb. I've done it twice. In fact, I'll show you before we begin. I did it twice without, or 3 times without MechJeb, and so I'm sure I can say that that's good enough. So I got once, if you look here, I ran out of fuel, so sort of orbiting Joule with the current version, I think, or yeah, I think it was the current version. Like with MechJeb, it would have been much easier. Actually, no, wait, it was the older version of this. Then there's this one, which is landed on Duna, right over here, 2 versions ago, and Eve 1 version ago. So I've landed on Eve, Duna, and I am orbiting Joule. I tried to do it with MechJeb before to land on Joule, or not land on Joule, but to land on one of its moons, but the space Kraken ate me apart. Well, it's actually really MechJeb's fault, so not mine. Anyway, stupid thing. Let's go in here and launch this stupid gigantic ship. It's not really stupid, but it's really gigantic. So it'll load. Takes a little bit. It's not. It's worse when recording than it is when actually playing. When playing, it's really not bad. Here's the ship. Don't need this, but I need the surface thing. Execute. So that'll take care of that. Here's this, and so this is just the way this orbital operates. I guess I'll have to go over MechJeb a little bit, but in case you're wondering, I have like a almost 900-ton craft that I'm taking off with here. It sends about 85 tons into solar orbit, which is this section plus 1 tank of fuel. So I'll have it. I think our first target would be Duna. I'm going to try to have us visit every single place. It's really laggy in the beginning, especially since I'm recording. If I wasn't recording, it would not be such an issue. Because once these outside ones fall off, it's much better. But until then, it's a little annoying. So now it should be okay once these fall away. Yeah, see? Oh, my FPS comes back. All my FPS belong to me. Once I get... Yep, see, it's stabilized up here as well. So, okay. This craft, this bottom giant section, we'll put this top section plus 1 tank of fuel into solar orbit, as I mentioned, so we will definitely be able to get there. And damn it, I have my audio turned up a little loud. I'll try to talk a little more quietly. Maybe I'll whisper a little bit. If I whisper, maybe, I don't know. But still, it should be fine. But as we watch Kerbal fall away, this is 0.17. The old version was 0.16, the one that I did the first time. I have done a few things with, well, actually, you know what? This depends on whether we're facing Eve or Duna, because we'll land on either one. I've not landed on MoHo yet. MoHo is more difficult because you have to land on the back side or you will explode. So, and die in a most horrible death. But for now, we will land on either Duna or Eve, and then next time the other one. This has more than enough power to get anywhere, so I'm not worried. Once this drops off, I'll drop it off, and it'll have the middle section again. Again, this thing here helps me the Smart ASAS helps me launch better, if only because that way I don't crash into shit, and I can still control my throttle if I want. Oh my. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. That went horribly wrong. Um, okay then. I'm going to have to redo that launch. So once I've redone my launch and gotten up to that point, I will talk to you guys then. Okay, so I'm back. We're basically at the same place we were before, and hopefully nothing stupid happens. Good. Good. See, that's better. That usually never happens. I don't know why that happened that time, but some weird stuff happened and it did things. And well, anyway, we're on our way up again, so it's not a big deal. This craft will get us into orbit. See, here's some debris. It'll go wee and back down again, but much sniffing needed. All right, so we are on our way up from Kerbin. We are out of Kerbin atmosphere, and once this gets into Kerbal orbit, which will take about 2 tanks, so to get into orbit around the sun, it takes these 2 tanks, and then this one will be about that much done when I reach there. So I'm going to go in the map mode and wait a little bit. This thing, as I said, just keeps me oriented up and down. 90-90 will keep me straight up and down, which is very nice. I will do I will land manually, I won't do this. This is again only because the craft is really heavy. It's still a lot of tons. Again, I said I can get about 80 tons into solar orbit with this thing, which is pretty good. Transfer point to the moon or to MoS. I'm not going to use those. Almost up to the moon. And there we go. We actually caught the moon, which is not what we wanted. You saw us twist around the moon a little bit. Transfer injected. No, I did not want to do that. Let me see. Alright. I'm going to have to warp now because it'll catch us with the moon here, and that's not what I wanted to do. So I want far out. Hopefully this won't interfere with this too much. And boom, and boom, and there we are. Alright. So our orbit is like so, and if you saw, we are actually nearly up to where Duna is, which means once we get out into space, that's exactly where we're going. We're going to Duna first. Alright, we're going to Duna. And then this will automatically inject me into Duna, and I can land myself. It's not really a big deal. Once it captures with Duna, I'm going to let it do its own thing. Move into injection burn point, and it'll sort of show you exactly what to do, because I'm bad at calculating when to burn to catch a planet, and so I don't. Usually my method involves me pushing this all the way out to where Duna is, then fixing the inclination, that is, fixing so it matches up like so in this direction. So it matches up like that, which it does. So the inclination's correct. And then I wait until Duna is either right above me or right in front of me or right behind me, like if it's here or if it's over here. And then I circularize the orbit almost. If it's in front of me, I make it slightly narrower. If it's behind me, slightly wider, and eventually it'll catch me. So that's sort of what I do. That's my little way of doing it. It works eventually, but it also wastes a ton of fuel that this method, the correct method, will not, which is the way you're supposed to do it, and not the way I do it. So when this calculates that this is the correct spot, it will slow down the warp, it will turn around, and it will fire. It'll fire over to where Duna happens to be, or where it's going to be. See, we're catching up here. And once we get to that point, it'll fire. I'll use this to transfer to the different planets because it makes it easy. Look at this mess I have over here. All those lovely things that I was messing around with. Yeah, lovely, lovely things. For my different attempts of doing it. So, alright, we're getting closer to when we're actually going to do it. When this counts down to 0, that's when it'll turn us to about here and go fire, and it'll make us go all the way out. When I caught Duna the first time, I actually basically rammed straight into it, which was kind of funny. This time, I don't intend to do that. In fact, I intend to land, and I will see if I can actually take off in orbit with this craft. I'm not sure how much power it really has. I know that this top half here, this part, has a significant delta V, like 4,000 or something. So it's more than enough to probably land on Duna and then start the return to Kerbal. I might see if I can go from here back and then land back at Kerbal. So you've gotten to the point here. And it is moving to injection burn point. Where's Duna? Oh, Duna right here. Yep, to Duna. So it's going to fire in a minute. Once it figures out how it's going to do it. Executing main injection burn. This thing is a really, really heavy ship. So it turns like a rock. And that's just sort of the way it is. But yeah, see that green light telling me MechJeb is doing stuff. See, in orbit I have 81.3 tons of of which 50 something is this, almost 60 tons, which I see as a decent payload. This top part is like 20 tons. This part is nearly 40, and it's got a good thing. So anyway, the way this will work is it'll burn out, and then I'll reach Duna somewhere over here probably. Maybe even over here. It just depends on how long it takes me to follow and catch up, because I'm only just behind it slightly. So anyway, I'll just sort of show you how MechJeb really works. MechJeb's a very, very useful thing. I'll also do a circumnavigation with MechJeb at some point, since I've installed it now. I wanted to mess around first and do a few things on my own before I installed MechJeb, just to see if I could go to a planet on my own, and I can. So since I can, I say, well, why the hell not? I will use MechJeb. It makes things a lot easier. Oops. Nope. Let me see. I meant to do Duna, which means it'll continue to turn now. Sorry. I messed up. I clicked things, and I should not have clicked things. I meant to hit M for map. But it's basically going to go right over here, and then it's going to fire its laser. And it's going to go catch up with Duna, and we're all going to be happy. I'm going to have to stage it. That's why I'm sort of looking here, too. Depending on what it says here, I'm going to have to hit this to go up into this stage. Whoop, there we go. See? So once this fuel burns out, see, it's going to rapidly move things, which I can't do normally with this dude. As you watch our fuel go away and shake itself apart. There we go. All right. So now this thing, these engines are really efficient. See, 800 versus these, for instance, which are 330, or the other ones, which are like 290 or 310 or something like that. So these are ridiculously efficient engines, although they have like no power, which is on purpose. These are the NERVAs, atomic engines, the N atomic rocket motor things. They are wonderful. They overheat like a bitch, but that's because they are rocket engine or nuclear rocket engines and stuff. But yeah, this is one fuel pod that they're all burning from. It's this one. All 4 engines burning from this. And so far we've almost caught Duna. So again, I think we're going to catch Duna over here somewhere. So once it gets to doing the main injection burn, and once we catch Duna, I will transfer it to manual, because manual is better than automatic, except when driving, because then you actually have to pay attention and stuff. Yeah, so it's going to go to mid-course correction, which is going to go move over here, and then it's going to like speed up sort of at the end and catch us. We're basically straight in line. I would have just burned a little more and caught up, but whatever. It does its own little thing. And then I'm going to get in there. It'll try to lower the periapsis, and I'm not going to give a shit. I'm going to fix it myself as soon as it captures. So the first mission is definitely going to be to Duna. So far we're at 227 days, which is not particularly good, not particularly bad, I suppose, but that's okay. What it'll do is, again, it's moving as it does this. It'll sort of fix everything and make us hit. So we're going to hit sort of, as I said, somewhere around here, if I had to guess. But I'm not sure. It'll make a little indentation when we do meet it. When we do hit that, that's when I will, when I see a little yellow line, but we'll have to be much, much closer for that to happen. Hey, it's doing it almost the way I actually hit the stupid planet, which means we're wasting a ton of fuel. Although we've only burned almost 2 tanks of fuel. And we've got another 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 9, 10. Yep, 10 more tanks of fuel, so we're okay. Almost there. I can sense it. We're going to meet somewhere soon. So soon. So soon! Lowering final periapsis is what it's apparently doing. But it hasn't actually connected yet. I don't know why it hasn't connected yet, but I guess it just hasn't yet. And that's okay. Whenever it decides that it's connected, I will be happy.